let me shut this off. Hold on. Um, where is this music at? What the fuck? Where is it? Hmm, I can't shut it off. I don't know how. Bear with me a second. I'm completely fucking lost here. I know y'all didn't come here to listen to that. uh, um, Control, delete. The fuck is that? No, that didn't help. There we go. All right, that's off. Cool. What that was falling asleep. It was the soundtrack for Wingrows that I had downloaded, and I wanted to see what it sounded like. I had bought it when I bought the game, and I never listened to it. So I figured while I'm going through WinHense software to clean up my Windows system, I'm trying to clean up some hard drive space because apparently last night or yesterday I had forgotten to shut off the fucking computer and I was testing the audio, which I need to check right now because I got a new mic right there, and I got the wireless thing for the headphones, so I don't have wires all over me no more. I still have wires, but they're not interfering with what I'm doing. So I need to test the audio and get that figured out. But I wanted to make sure that this device was working right. We're good for about 4 or 5 hours, maybe, for this device, and then it has to be recharged. I should have bought a second one, but I did not. So I have to look at getting another one eventually. And right now, I just want to find out how this audio sounds. I tried to do it yesterday, but I was tired. Yeah, y'all can barely hear me. That's what I was afraid of. Doesn't sound as good as my other one does. Yeah, I look like crap. Let's try this one. Might have to go in there and do something with the EQ. It says it's supposed to be high definition audio. Do you think it's high definition? I don't. Not after hearing it. Sounds like I'm in a fucking tin can. See if we get it closer. Does that help? Move that one. All right, so I moved the mic up because they recommend it to be on your collar. So we'll see what happens. I don't know, man. Y'all bear with me. I appreciate y'all's patience. Change my glasses so I can see what the hell I'm doing here too. So I got a new book, y'all. I told y'all it was coming. It came yesterday. Check that shit out. Oh yeah. Escaping from Eden. Yeah, y'all know what's coming today. Read the description. Yeah, I'm asking for trouble. I know. Fine, but I don't give a shit. I ain't making no fucking money. Ain't nobody fucking watching, so I don't really give a fuck. Um, all right, let's turn this gain up some more. Take it to 12. And we're going to see what that sounds like as well. So, this book is pretty fucking sweet. I started reading it yesterday. Downside is when I read, I fall asleep. So, I don't know why that happens, man. All right, let's try this. Get louder. Put it to 15. All right. I don't know if that's any better. We're definitely louder. We're getting into the yellow now. So that's pretty sweet. So that means you can hear me and I don't sound so far away. However, it's still not sounding good. Um, let me see. These are the high mark. I think that's what they're called. I don't know if y'all ever heard of them. Hmm. No, it's supposed to be turned off, motherfucker. I don't know why it turns itself on. It's blinking blue for that one now, so maybe that'll help. It might be trying to pick up two different mics, and that could be a problem. So there's still a ting sound to it. I don't know if that's the right description, but it don't sound good. All right, let's open up the filter and let's add noise gate. I don't know if that's going to help at all. Might even break it down, bring down the audio even more. So we'll see what that is. Um, check, one, two, motherfucker, check. Yeah, I always talk shit. Listen, I'm in my basement, man, doing my thing, doing me. Y'all do you, I do me. Glad y'all are here. Thank you. Welcome. I know this ain't what you came here to see, but I gotta get this shit right, or else you ain't gonna be able to hear a fucking thing I'm trying to say, and you ain't gonna make no sense of it. God, you're a goofy looking motherfucker. Doing me, you do you. I'm just repeating what I heard. All right, let's see. Filter, EQ. I don't know if that's gonna help or not. Mm, Turn down the high. Let's leave the bass right now. I may have to turn. God, why do I keep doing that? Shut my mic off. May have to put. Yeah, let's do it that way. See if that helps at all. May have to put the noise gate up top, but we'll see. We shall see. Slowly getting there, man. Slowly. This is what I go through every time I want to fucking stream. Um, a lot of it is because I'm always changing shit. Like I got new equipment, so that changes it. I may end up going back to the other one because I'm not really getting happy with this at all. Not at all. Of course, what I get for not reading fucking comments and shit like that. Man, I'm a spur of the moment guy. You know, I'm hyperactive, so that shit happens all the fucking time. Um, I turned down, oh shit, why is that fucking jumping so high now? I turned down the highs on the EQ, and I turned up the lows, and I turned up the mids. So we'll see what that sounds like. When the dogs cry. Still sound like I'm in a fucking tin can. All right. Um, do a compressor. See if that helps. Limiter. Do a compressor. All right. We did a compressor. Let's see what that does. That did bring it down, although it's still jumping up in the red. Not as often, but we'll see what's up. We shall see, motherfuckers. All right, so what are we doing? Huh? Did y'all watch yesterday? What are we doing? Huh? What are we doing? What are we doing? Do you know? Come on, tell me, do you know? What do you mean, no current live stream? Yeah, right there, bitch. As usual, zero viewers, zero chat rate, and zero view. Nice. All right, let's see what this sounds like if it's any motherfucking better. It still sounds like shit. Still sounds like shit. Um, I don't know how to get rid of that. Motherfucking get rid of that. what the fuck? I can't bring that fucker down here with me. And I can't hardly read that fucking book anyway. It's so motherfucking small. And let's turn this back down to 15. Uh, that's I got this happy trigger finger motherfucking thing. Yeah. Listen, I didn't want to uninstall Opera completely. I just wanted the GX. Now you're gonna make me open up Microsoft Edge to get fucking Opera back. That later, get the fuck out of the way. Opera. What the fuck is that all about? Fucking piece of shit, fat ass fingers. No, get the fuck out of the way. Close, install, and accept. Accept. All right, let's stop this recording. See what it sounds like. As soon as Opera gets up, I'll show y'all what we're doing. All right. We're getting close. We are getting close. All right, let's turn that up. Trying to get rid of that fucking aluminum can sound. All right. We want YouTube. And we want history, motherfucker. No, we don't. We want the playlist. All right. So this guy, I listened to him yesterday or the day before, yesterday morning, day before. I don't remember. It was the day before. And I thought, you know what? I don't like people saying shit isn't real when they have no facts. Okay. They can't prove that it's not real or it is real. They go by what mainstream is teaching them. Okay. And nowadays, after all the shit that we've seen in politics and around the world, there's no fucking way you can say that anything we've been taught is 100% legit. You just can't. Not anymore. You always have to question everything. And the problem is, shit has been forced on us so long that we don't know what's true and what ain't anymore. I've always believed in aliens, and that's never going to stop. Whoa, turn that mid up, that shit's fucking distorting. Oh, that's terrible, y'all. I'm sorry. I am so motherfucking sorry. audio now. Yes, we see what it sounds like when it does. Oh, I'm fucked up. I know, man. I know you ain't got to tell me. It's all good. I am who I am. Or would Popeye say, I am what I am, and that's all that let's see what this bitch is sounding like. I don't blame y'all for not watching it. Uh, Sounds like shit. I ain't gonna lie, these fucking speakers, or this mic is not fucking worth the damn. The fuck is it? Right there. See, I don't really like this is fucking work. Alright, show y'all this real quick. This is the mic, and that's the magnet. That's the magnet, I think. That, that peel it off. It's a pretty strong magnet, but as you can tell, it ain't worth a shit. It ain't worth a motherfucking shit. I think they're fucking crap to me. With you. How's that sound? Okay? Is that fucking bullshit or what? So I gotta hold it up to my fucking face to make it sound good. That's fucking ridiculous. I'll end up going back to my other fucking mics. Uh, yeah, it sounds like shit, man. Hold on. Absolute fucking crap. This any better? That's a lot fucking better. Bet you. Bet you it sounds a shit ton better. Yeah, I fucked up the camera. Hold on. Probably prefer it that way. There we go. All right. So I changed the fucking mics because I know this one works way better than that one. Those are being sent back. Yeah, you probably prefer it that way. All right, now let's fix this shit. Delete. Check 1, 2. The gain's got to stay up. Pressure. Check 1, 2, motherfucker. Noise gate. Off. Check 1, 2. Check, check. I know, I know. Y'all sitting right there hearing me do a sound check. Can you help it? Gotta do it. Yeah, I'm still fucking recording it. That's why it's fucking doing it. All right, so that audio and see, I always fucking do that. Cut the fucking mic. All right, BST. Slick EQ. That's the default. E channel. Mini M. Stereo width enhanced. All right, we're gonna leave that one. We're gonna stop the recording and see what it sounds like. Oh, I didn't bring my fucking coffee down. Fuck. All right, let's go to limited. How's that? Is that okay? Does it sound like shit? Ain't nobody here to tell me it does or don't. I was kind of late, y'all, so it's my fault. Um, Actually, it wasn't. I blame it on my phone. The motherfucker didn't go off this morning like it normally does. Although it is Sunday, there shouldn't be any alarms for Sunday. I must have been tired because I definitely slept past 3 o'clock. All right, still sounds like shit, man. Still sounding like shit. Um, Mastering tight. Mastering tight. Let me see what that sounds like, man. Mastering tight. It is the TDRs. I believe they're TDRs. Let me double check that. Uh, TDR Kodalin Kodelnikov. Yeah, I can't pronounce that. And the other one is TDR Voss Slick EQ. All right, stop the recording, see if it sounds any better. All right, I'm gonna tell you what else I did, and it might be fucking up this audio. I went into the audio settings on Windows and I got rid of the mic volumes for the cameras, all the cameras gone. Um, and that might be part of the problem because some of these were picking up and they would tone it down, I think. I don't know. Uh, I'm not a audio expert by no means. What you hear is how I normally do this. Hmm. Expander. I don't know if that's going to help or not. Probably not. It's probably blasting me off the fucking charts, huh? Why you keep double clicking shit? We're going to get to the video, I promise. We are. I just got to get this mic done so y'all can fucking hear me. Because here's the thing, I'm gonna fucking call this dude out. And I'm not calling him out. I'm calling out the ideology, right? Religion against alien belief. And he's the one that brought this shit up, not me. He's the one that's arrogant, thinking we're the smartest motherfuckers in the universe and there's no one else. All right. And I say he's ignorant because only somebody who is so self centered thinks that we are the greatest thing in the universe because somebody wrote it in a book and said this is God's word when nobody's ever met God. And there's a lot of history that people are ignoring, that people are literally ignoring. It says otherwise. Come on. You just got to figure it out. All right, let's go to microphone. That's privacy settings. What fucking with privacy settings? I'm not gonna fucking want it. And you can turn the fuck off over here. Go to audio sound setting. All right, volume. Listen, I got devices already on there. Why ain't you showing my list of devices? Oh, it's right here. All right, microphone. Okay, it's allowed. Makes me go. Philips is allowed. Did I do that one already? Why can't you just take me back where the fuck I was at? Why do you gotta always fucking jump? This one. There it is. I bet you it sounds better now. Yeah. Let's turn this one back off. Come on, bitch. Get over here. Let's turn this one back off. Go down here. We're gonna leave this one on. Right? Yeah. Right, scroll back down. Don't allow. This device is currently in use. No, I turned them off, so why are they not working? Because I turned them off. Alright, so apparently I am ass backwards on shutting shit off. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. Allow. Don't allow. Alright, cancel that. Go into settings. Audio. Verify. Alright, now get the fuck over here, mouse. Phillips. Don't allow. Mexico. Don't allow. Phillips. Allow, don't allow. We're not allowing it. Alright. See if we still got fucking audio here. We still got audio. Yes, we do. And I bet you it sounds a hell of a lot better now, don't it? Bet you it does. Cancel. Record. Checking 1, 2. Went back to my older mics. They are no name. There's no fucking name on the box. Funny. Ha ha ha, funny. Much better. Much fucking better. Um, let's get rid of that. All right, close that. We are going to get there, people. I promise. We are going to get there. Just streaming is so fucking difficult. Dealing with audio, video, all that shit, dude. It's a fucking pain right in the ass. And I had a feeling because I heard other people talk about it on their streams and how much time and effort goes into it. And I understand it 100% now. Oh, I need that expander back. I need that expander back. Um, we do have, I believe, a VST plugin. No, that's Prism, not expander. All right, that ain't gonna work. Do Nova. Um, I don't know what to fucking do here. Minimum wideband, band 1, band 2, band 3, band 4, left density, edge density, mid focus, high frequency density, HF. That's what I think it says. DS split length. All right, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. Let's leave that. That one is 4-band dynamic or some shit. So we're gonna see. What's that? No, we don't want that. Stereo, precise, eco. All right, so we got eco and stereo on the Nova up top. We're gonna leave it, see what we sound like. Um, Close that. Start recording. delete the last recording. So this gentleman's name is Daniel O'Connor. He's Irish, apparently, but he's probably European and he's Catholic. I'm thinking, but I see an American flag behind him, so I might be mistaken about his nationality. He is definitely looks like um, he's into something. Looks like a sword, martial arts. Got Catholic stuff behind him. So he's definitely Catholic. He's wearing a cross. Now, what did God say in the Bible for all you Bible believers? There be no God but me. There's no idols. What's he wearing? You can't see it, but he's wearing a cross of Jesus on the cross. Sorry. To me, that's idols or some shit like that. It's decoration. I don't know. I might be mistaken. My brain's thinking about the audio, but I'm all wound up over this, so my mind is fucking spinning a mile a minute at the moment. There's too much bass. There's always too much bass. So here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. Filters, get rid of them. Get rid of all of them. Keep the expander. Keep the gain. Reband equalizer. Bring this pitch up to 10. The high pitch. Bring the lows down. Like 5. All right. Leave the mids. Record it. We'll see what I fucking sound like. And we're going to have to leave it because I want to get to this Daniel O'Connor. Good looking dude. I'm not gay. I don't judge guys, but his look is decent. He looks good. For you women out there, if he's single, go hit him up. I'm married, got children, not into guys. We're going to leave it. Fuck it. Y'all can hear me. That's what fucking counts. I've wasted an hour fucking around with this shit. So I'm gonna send real quick. I'm gonna get this show, get this get this window going for y'all. Yeah, there he is. Get my ass out of the way. My ugly mug out of the way. We're gonna make me a little bit small here. Because I'm the one that's insignificant right now. I'm not the important person here. This guy is. This gentleman right here. Mr. O'Connor, if you're checking this out, my man, it is not personal against you and your beliefs. I just want to correct the record. All right. I just want to correct the record. If you're watching, you know I have zero followers or subscribers. It says I got 3 or 4, but really, I don't have any. And I got your picture right here in front of me, so I'm not looking up there. If you're watching this, give you a little background real quick. I'm a Southern boy, grew up in Georgia. I was born in Buffalo, New York. My family moved when I was a kid. And down south, I became Southern Baptist. That's how I call it. I don't know. First Church of the Nazarene. That was the first church I went to and gave my life to Christ. Insinuating circumstances forced me that way. But I told this story, I believe, in yesterday's stream. So if you go back and watch that, you'll hear the whole story. I'm not going to reiterate it here. But nothing happened. The, the lies that they told me to get me to give my life to Christ as a little kid, manipulated. None of it came true. It did finally come true, probably 8 years later, 7 years later, something like that, right? I know, in God's time, right? No, it's not in God's time. It's man's time. When a man decides he's going to do something and does it, it's not God's will, it's man's will. The only God I know of is the one they call Enki in the ancient scriptures. And I mean clay tablet scriptures. See, people want to ignore that shit, but you can't ignore it. They make it mythology. Why is it mythology? Because it goes against the narrative of the Holy Bible, the religious ideology. Okay. All that changes when you follow the old languages and the old writings. What did I do with it? They're on the floor. No, it's right here. And y'all can't see it. I showed them to you yesterday. But Zechariah's system has been debunked over and over and over. Just to have more people come behind him and do similar work and verify everything he wrote. The Earth Chronicles, the complete Earth Chronicles, right? Yeah, by Zechariah 6. And this box is heavy, and I'm trying to reach for it. I can't lift like that no more. I got a fucking bad neck. I had surgery, work accident, plate in my neck. And I'm 120-pound weakling at this point. This set of books right here, sir. History. Can't ignore history. If you ignore history, you're allowing everything that's happening today to continue to happen and justify it. Justifying man's actions through religion is bullshit. If that's the case, you might as well let all the fucking criminals out. Because it's God's will that they're doing the shit that they do. Right? The devil doesn't exist. Demons don't exist. Bad people doing bad shit exists. I've done bad shit, not like that, not that extreme that put me in jail, but I made mistakes in my life, lived and learned from them. Today, I don't do that shit. Why? Because I'm grown now. I understand right from wrong. Okay? I treat people the way I want to be treated. Number one rule in life, treat people as you want to be treated. You don't need God. You don't need religion. You don't need none of that shit to be a good person. And if you think that's what makes you a good person, you need to do some self reflection. Now, this ain't directed at you, Mr. O'Connor. This is for everybody. Okay. And I've said this before in other streams. I used to stream on rumble.com and I'd say this shit all the time. I think I was over there for a year and a half, almost 2 years. I finally closed that down because I got tired of sim racing. We won't get into that topic though. Because we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this religion thing. This book right here, there's the author's name. I got another book to show you. There's many books, many authors that are doing the same stuff. There's his name, Mauro Biglino, Gods of the Bible, Ancient History. Cannot ignore ancient history. Ancient history says aliens that you don't believe in 450,000 plus years ago came to Earth. The story is that they needed gold to put in their atmosphere to protect them because their planet wasn't producing their magnetic field anymore to protect them from the rays of the universe or the sun and to keep them warm when they go back out, way back out beyond our solar system. Read Zechariah Sitchin's books, you'll find out all about their history. This book explains a lot about multiple gods and monotheism, why it came about, where it started, the history of multiple gods, and what we think is mythology, the Greeks did not. Zeus, Thor, all them. Yes. The myths that we grew up with. This book breaks down the Genesis idea of creation, which so does this one. And so do, I don't know what I did with the chair over here. So did Zechariah Sitchin. They all did it. And there's multiple more doing it. There's a young lady right now that just got done reading the book of Enoch, the Hebrew version, I think it was. She went to Oxford and actually interpreted what that real book says. Came from Ethiopia. Because they kept record of everything. In this book, it explains that there are 88 or over 100 gospels. And the Bible only has 68, 86, I forget. I read this a year ago. My memory isn't that good on being able to recall. Head on car crash fucked my brain up. But I've lived with the idea of aliens my whole life. Never felt like I belonged on this planet. Never felt like I was really from this planet, even though I was born here. And saying that aliens don't exist is kind of arrogant. Yeah, it's arrogant. There's no way. You look at the world and all the people in it, and the politicians and everything that goes on. There is no fucking way. And I'm sorry for cussing, but there's no way. I got a bad mouth. No way we are the most intelligent people in the galaxy, in our solar system, in our universe. No possible way. No, we can't get there. We're flesh and bone. We're not that intelligent. We don't have the technology. We're reverse engineering it. We may have it. They're just not telling us. They, government, uh, military industrial complex, all those folks. They're not telling us. All them scientists that were working on UFOs disappearing. Why? See, the question really is, sir, do you keep up with the times and what's happening politically? I don't know if you do. I just found you on my stream the other day, my YouTube feed, and I listened to you because I want to hear about it. See, my mother was Catholic. I don't know about my stepfather. I think he was Protestant or something like that. Might have been Catholic. Who knows? He didn't talk about that shit. Religion is so big in this world. There are multiple gods all over the place. Buddhist, Muslim, Christianity. I mean, dude, there's religions we don't even know exist. So how can we determine that one is correct and the rest are false? Because somebody wrote a book and said that's true. That's like taking a fiction novel and saying that that's fact. Can't do that. I question our history books that they're teaching us because looking at the way things are going today doesn't make any sense. Makes no sense. So that's my opening. This was Apexes and Exits Racing. It's also PGA 2K25, and it's also Windrose, which is another game. I am a gamer, not an intense gamer. Those are the three games that I play. And that's why I stream. I also share my insights on what I believe and who I am and what I am. And I am a fucked up individual. My past has made me who I am, and I live it and accept it. How else am I going to live my life? And a lie like most people, make believe none of this shit is real. Nothing bothers me. I'm a hard ass. No, 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 no. That's false. Okay. Living false is false. If you don't believe in something, you'll fall for anything. So maybe that's where I'm at. Maybe in your eyes. But you can't discount history. That's my whole point. You cannot discount history. And everybody wants to because it doesn't fit the narrative and it breaks down their building blocks of their life. I get that. But unfortunately, if you want truth, you have to step outside your protective barrier. Now, with that said, I'm going to let some of this play because for those that are watching, you need to know what this conversation is about. So this guy is breaking down the disclosure date and Spielberg's 50-year grooming exposed. It's a fucking movie, people. Okay. Yes. In movies, they put out messaging to manipulate your emotions, your thinking, what you think you believe. Every movie does it. But everybody's stuck on this Spielberg thing. Okay.
Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day is today hitting theaters across the world.
Um, Apparently, there is no audio. Why is there no audio? Because it's not connected. All right, let's see if that works now.
I just watched it, and there's a lot I urgently have to warn you about. So please watch this video here before you instead of watching that movie. Or at least before watching that movie. But don't worry, if you do insist on watching it and you don't want spoilers, you will find a note in the description of this video indicating when the spoilers start. Check the description, look for the timestamp. Some of you might not be interested, though, in the broader context of the deception that Spielberg has been grooming us for decades now.
Spielberg has been grooming us for 50 years. You could say that for your government, dude. You could say that for your pastor, your churches, your holy Bible. Been grooming people for centuries. The Catholics. Um, what we thought we knew about the Knights Templars being the military for the Catholics, the Crusades, all that crap. All it was an information gathering system. They sent their soldiers to fight and take the information and the treasures. Yeah, but we ignore that, right? Because I don't have my Bible here, but the Holy Bible says so. If you go in and you read some of those passages, which these guys that I pointed out do, where is it okay for a God to say, go and kill everybody, man, woman, child, animals, and bring the spoils to God? Why does God need spoils? I understand why they killed everybody. They didn't want repercussions coming back later on. I mean, look at the Muslims over there in Israel and Iran and all that shit going on. I know Israel's not Muslim, they're Jewish, supposedly. But dude, they've been fighting over there for millennia. Yeah, I said millennia. Ever since man was created, they've been fighting over that fucking land. Grooming. You're helping them. You may not think so, but you're helping them.
You might just want the lowdown on this movie itself. In that case, you can skip to the timestamp mentioned if you like. If you don't want the details of this movie yet, then just watch up until that timestamp and stop there. But I hope that most of you will watch this whole video because all of this is very important, and don't worry about this horrible movie being spoiled.
Horrible movie. Because it goes against his belief system. So it's a horrible movie. I gotta take a break, y'all. I gotta get my coffee. I'm gonna stay there. Okay. Yeah. God's gonna send his wrath. Thunderstorms on the way. Oh shit. Yeah, thunderstorms are on the way. Calling for rain today. But if you ask Mr. O'Connor, he'll probably tell you it's because of what I'm saying. Probably not. I don't know. I think he might have a little arrogance about it. But when you believe something so deeply, it comes out. And sometimes it comes out pretty harsh. And that's what I think I'm picking up from him. Because I think he's really a nice guy. I really do. I don't know him, but I think he's a nice guy. He's just very passionate about his beliefs. And so am I. So he's very well spoken. I'll give him that. He's very intelligent, very well read. So, and I appreciate his opinion. But you can't ignore history, man. You just can't. And you can't single everybody out that's not a Christian. See, that's the problem I have with Christianity. It's their way or nothing. If it's nothing, then it's the devil, right? And if you're the devil or doing the devil's business, you're going to fucking hell. There's no heaven, there's no hell. There is a hell, we're living it every day. In the prison planet. Yeah, there's a theory on the prison planet. The radiation belt that we can't get through to go to the moon might be our jail cell, might be the bars that we can't see to keep us where we are. That's a whole nother topic. Let's finish hearing what this man's got to say.
You shouldn't watch it anyway. All right. The broader context here is that Steven Spielberg has groomed you. He has groomed society for decades to embrace the great lie. In this film, Disclosure Day is kind of like the outright assault that all of that grooming was a preparation for. And in this video, my video here, I'm going to provide the counter assault. I've been warning about Spielberg's diabolical promotion of the ET UFO deception for years. And I've been mocked for years for issuing that warning about what Spielberg is actually up to with all of this. But then suddenly, in the last few weeks, promoting this film, Spielberg began.
Okay. Right now in the beginning, his issue is with Spielberg. There's a lot of people that's got issues with these guys. All right. I mean, Eric Von Daniken went through this shit. Zechariah Sitchin went through this. Paul Wallace is going through it. Mauro Biglino used to be part of somewhere in the Catholics where they interpreted Hebrew and all that stuff. And when he started pointing out that they're misinterpreting things on purpose, they discontinued using his service and started wiping his name off of the history of what he's worked on. It's in that book, Gods of the Bible. He gives you a description of where he comes from, what he did, why he is knowledgeable and able to speak on the topic. Zechariah Sitchin in his books tell you he did not research and interpret every single thing he writes about. He interpreted some, he used other people's works as well. Okay. But everybody's against something that's not religion, not monotheism. When you want to break down monotheism to prove that it's false, everybody attacks you. Everybody attacks you. I'm a nobody on a stream, and I might in the network or whatever you want to fucking call it on the platform. I don't have any viewers. Blah blah blah. Zero, zero current viewers. Zero chat rate because I haven't chatted this morning. Zero views. I'm a nobody. But I'm breaking this down because I'm not going to allow people to just lie to you. I'm not going to do it. Good morning, folks. My name is Larry. You can call me LJ, whatever. Call me asshole, dipshit, dickhead. I don't care. Call me what you want. They're just names. Tom McDonald. They're just names. I'm probably going to be straight dead after this. Because you know God doesn't like it when you talk negative to him or about him. I should have been dead a long time ago. And I'm still here.
Began admitting himself that he is indeed doing exactly what I've always been saying he was doing.
Dude, I
Spielberg
do it too. Don't feel
says
bad.
his Alien movie
Don't
will
worry.
leave Christians questioning their faith in God,
They should question
creating,
everything.
hopefully, a belief system that the audience will say, this is here, this is happening.
Okay. What's the difference between him and all these multi-millionaire billionaires in Davos that want to be gods, want to be in control of the planet? What's the difference? Is there a difference? I don't think so. I think they're all delusional. Does their bloodline take them back 400,000 years? I don't know. We don't get those DNA test results. Can we trust those results? Got to remember, people, everything's about the money. Everything's about the money and control and power. Everything.
Another thing that Spielberg
They'll even tell you that Christianity is false because they want you to believe in their God, which is themselves.
said promoting this film, he's trying to create a belief system with it. He says, this is real. I really believe. He has repeatedly said that. This is not fiction for him anymore. I don't think it ever really was in his heart of hearts, but now it certainly isn't. He is admitting he believes this is real, and he is insisting that what he's doing is striving to bring it about more quickly. Disclosure itself, that is. Let's take a look at this clip here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to hear it, but here we go.
This is a story about us.
This is a story about us, he says. I'll pause and repeat in case it's not coming through.
All of us.
Good morning, Kansas City.
Up against the most extraordinary event in human history.
He is calling it the most.
All right, so what he's showing you here is clips from the movie. Okay, he's calling it fair use, and he's showing you less than 2 minutes or whatever. I'm showing his whole fucking thing, his whole video. So copyright strikes are coming, and I don't care. I ain't making no money here. I'm just putting information out and debunking stuff that I don't believe. Okay, or the narrative, the ideology that I don't believe. Okay, the falsehoods that everybody's pushing on people. I don't know where this is going to go, if it's going to continue out throughout my streams, my channel. I don't know, but I'm always going to talk about it. I'm always going to point out the false.
Most extraordinary event in human history. Disclosure.
Wouldn't it be wonderful for people to know
They're coming. They're already here.
all of this is true?
Of course it's true. Aliens have always been here. They've always been coming here. Okay? Always. There's a famous painting that was done back in the 1500s that showed crosses and elliptical shapes. And the story narrative on that is that something was happening in the skies above their heads, and somebody decided to document it. So they made a painting. A lot of these Christian people say it's God and the devil fighting. Okay. It's aliens. It's always aliens.
All of this is true, he says. In so many interviews in the last few weeks, he has repeatedly said that. He says, this is me. This is real. This is what I believe. Aliens are a guarantee, he says. He actually said that, a guarantee that they exist.
Yes,
he says they're going to change us. This is going to happen in our lifetimes. And he also insists that this is theological, challenges the faith, on and on and on with claims like that. Yes, Spielberg is exactly the man I told you he was. And with this movie, he's done exactly what I warned he would do. A little background info on this topic here for anyone new to my content on it. Here's the simple fact. Aliens do not exist.
False. Absolute false. This is where I got upset. Because he is blatantly, or maybe not blatantly, maybe he doesn't know there's other narratives out there or other writings. And he chooses to be blinded by it. He chooses not to see it. Listening to him right now, he chooses not to see history. He's also probably like my brother. If he can't see it, can't touch it, you can't put it in front of his face, it's not real.
As Christians, we can know with certainty that aliens do not exist.
Christians. The Bible says there's aliens. I forget which book it was. I was listening to an audio book while I was over the road driving 18-wheeler. I forget who the character was in that story or which book it was in the Bible. But he sent him back to Jerusalem to get something, to acquire something. And I vaguely remember it, so bear with me. It was something along the lines, do not fear the beings that you see. And I think he described them. And if I remember correctly, they sounded like they were lizards or archons, if you're familiar with the archon theory. They're lizard people, whatever you want to call them. So anyway, he told them, I also created them. Do not fear them. They are my creation. So it talks about aliens in the Bible. The Catholics, I don't know how to pronounce it, the papacy, the popes, all those guys over in Rome, they have been really watching the stars the last 15 years that I'm aware of. They built an observatory so they could watch the skies. Why? Because they're afraid that their monotheism lie is going to be blown out. So they're trying to get ahead of it. And they got trying to get ahead of it by saying when they were building this that if there are aliens, other beings in the universe, in the galaxy, in our solar system, they are also God's creation, which would be true, but not in the Christian aspect of God, more along the lines of these folks that can go out and do outer body experiences. The government had worked with it in the 50s, 60s, and 70s for remote viewing, those types of people. They believe in the source. The source is everything. Everything came from that. The Big Bang Theory, that dot, whatever the light was that went boom, that is the source. So now we bring religion back to where it belongs, to a universal belief and not a, a God, an all seeing spiritual that you can't see, you can't talk to, doesn't talk to you, doesn't see you, blah, blah, blah. So, yes, it brings it all back to a universal way of thinking.
Exist. See my 3-hour video on that I put up last month. And yes, people have been asking. I will be making a short summary of that video soon. Please subscribe, hit the notifications button so you can see when it comes out. But anyway, the lie that aliens do exist, and especially the lie that they're now here on Earth to intervene, that's not just any lie. I wager that this is the context for the Great Deception itself, the strong delusion foretold in Scripture, the reign of the end.
Oh, God. How do you trick a bunch of people into believing what you fucking want them to believe? You tell them that if they don't do something, they're going to get a punishment. Once you get that drilled into their head, and they did that by Moses' law in the Old Testament, right? An all-loving God, right? He loves you. He loves you. But if you don't do His will, you're going to hell. Beat that down somebody's fucking throat long enough. When you get to the end of times in Revelation or throughout the New Testament, you can tell them anything and they're going to believe because they're in fear from what the Old Testament taught them. So you can tell them that this was foreseen by God and prophesied by God, and people are going to believe it because they don't know to believe anything else. They've been inundated with this Holy Bible and monotheism for millennia. I say millennia, it's 6,000, 8,000 years. The Egyptians started it. I forget the guy's name, but if you look at his picture, let's see. Akhenaten, the Egyptian one God theory. Akhenaten, Nefertiti, and Aten, from many gods to one. American Research Center in Egypt. The reign of King Akhenaten stands out in the ancient Egyptian history for artistic innovation, the creation of a new religious capital, and intrigue surrounding royal succession. Above all, though Akhenaten is known for his development of a kind of early monotheism that stressed the uniqueness of the sun god Aten, and of Akhenaten's own relationship with this god. For this king, there was only one god and only one person who now knew the god, Akhenaten himself. Now look at his face. Does that look human to you? Not at all. Let's see, is there other pictures of him and his wife holding the baby? Where's that picture at? It's not in there. Yeah, I can't get it to come up. There it is. It's not a very good one, but look how the baby is. He's got the belly here too. How many toes he got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That's not a very good picture. Hmm, that's strange. They don't look human at all. Now, it could be because the artistry wasn't that good, or maybe it was. Not a very good rendition of the picture I was looking for. Profile view of the skull, thought to be Akhenaten, recovered from KB 55. I don't know, man. I ain't seen no skull look like that. Not Earthlings, anyway. I mean, that don't look human at all. I mean, the body's super thin up here, real big down here, scrawny little arms, long neck. I mean, they don't look human. But the point of this is that monotheism was an idea way back then during the Egyptian times. The Catholics found a way to make it stick.
Antichrist, the day of the beast. I provided my argument for why that is so in The First and Last Deception. I recommend that book, my more recent one, 2025, but also Only Man Bears His Image, my much longer one, published in 2023. I'll also be showing it in my...
Only man bears his image. Yeah. What do you say about the Palladians? Or the Orions? Yeah. Can't believe that. You can't. You can't believe it. You can believe it if you believe in the monotheism theory. Yes, I'd call it a theory. Why not? They call everything else a theory. Might as well make that one a theory too.
Documentary that I'm working on, that I've been working on for over a year now, The Age of Deception. Check out the trailer on this channel.
Age of Deception. Dude, you know how far back the deception goes for monotheism? Back to the Egyptians. Oh my God, man. The Greeks believed in multiple gods. The Greeks. Before that, the Jewish people. They knew Elohim was plural. They knew there were multiple beings that called themselves gods. And they got to choose which one they wanted to follow, which one they wanted to live under, which one they chose to worship. Yeah. Gotta do your homework, people.
Channel as well. So, what does Hollywood have to do with all of this?
Everything.
You might be thinking,
Hollywood pushes all these fucking bullshit mind control fucking movies. And if you get into the movies and you realize that it's mental manipulation, you can actually see when it's being manipulated, when they change the thought process, but they give you the facts before they can give you the lie, because you got to have facts and lie mixed to get people to believe. Because if they see that there's truth in there, they're not going to research. Now, if it's all lies and people don't understand the lies, they're going to research. They're going to find out it's bullshit. But if you put just enough truth in there to satisfy the intriguing mind and they can relate to it, they won't even research it.
Who cares? It's just fiction. No, it's not, quote, just fiction. Not when we're talking about aliens.
Now, in this aspect, we're going to stop before the alien part. I agree with him that it's not all fiction. Or let me back it up, make sure because I
Published in 2023. I'll also be showing it in my documentary that I'm working on, that I've been working on for over a year now, The Age of Deception. Check out the trailer on this channel as well. So, what does Hollywood have to do with all of this? You might be thinking, who cares? It's just fiction.
This is where we agree. Mr. O'Connor, this is where we agree. It's not just fiction. Because like I already said, and I'll reiterate again, you have to have some truth with the fiction for people to believe it. And then they won't fact check it. On that aspect, me and you are in agreement.
No, it's not, quote, just fiction. Not when we're talking about aliens. Because the fiction about that topic runs in perfect tandem with the continued explosion of claims about them in reality. All lies, of course, lies.
He's saying they're all lies. Question, Mr. O'Connor, have you done any research? Have you paid attention to the government and all their bullshit telling you that aliens don't exist? Have you looked up Majestic 12? Research that, sir. Majestic 12. Why did they create that group? So they could debunk UFOs and make everybody look retarded that was witnessing the UFOs. Those that claim to have been abducted and had experiences with first contact. Things like that. Do your homework, sir, before you say that it's not true, it's fiction. You got to do your homework. And don't blindly follow what you think the Bible says because your minister tells you to. That's what they want. That's how monotheism has gotten so huge in our planet today, at least in the Western world. Why do you think there's a problem with Islam and the Jewish people? Because they believe in two different gods. They all think their God gave them the land and they're fighting over it. And then the real truth of all of it, it's fighting over resources. And control over people.
Psyops, diabolical deceptions. But they're now coming from even the highest levels of government and from the
What I just say, you gotta do your homework, dude. Let's see what he's got to say about the government.
the most official channels, U.S. Congress. And when it comes to ET contact expectation in Hollywood, that is secular modernity's governing myth. And a society lives by virtue of the myth that it claims for its own. When that myth, moreover, appears to converge with reality, then that's by definition apocalyptic in and of itself.
Apocalyptic. Oh my God. He is very well read. I'm going to grant him that. He is very well read, very well educated. I am not. I suck at school. I got a learning disability. And that since my accident in 1990, I've had a memory issue. Head-on car crash, took out the windshield with my face, smashed my head through the back window. When the ambulance showed up, me and my roommate were hanging out the back window, and the owner of the vehicle that was driving was trapped inside. Thought we were all dead. But because we were intoxicated, we all survived. Yes, I'm not Catholic, I'm not Christian, but I still do the cross. Bless the woman the innocent woman that was involved. I apologize, man. Please forgive us. With that said, my memory's not as good as it used to be. Short term is completely shot. 6 months from now, I'll tell you everything I do remember because I remember almost everything, but I can't recall it. That's the other part of the short term memory bullshit I got.
Let's take a look at what's.
And that's part of my educational learning disability. I can't recall very well.
Scripture teaches. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching, but having itching.
Sound teaching. Monotheism will put this in there. The theologians that are pushing monotheism will put this in there to debunk people from thinking other things and disbelieving what they want you to believe.
Ears they will accumulate for themselves teachers to suit their own likings, and will turn away from listening to the truth and wander into myths.
Yeah. I can't help but laugh, man. Talking about brainwashing. Talking about brainwashing, dude. For the time is coming when people will not endure sound teaching. How do you endure sound teaching when your education system is giving you a bunch of bullshit instead of teaching you how to be a productive and critical thinking individual? They're teaching you to follow and conform and do what you're told. Don't question shit. When I was growing up, we were taught question everything. Don't take anybody's word. Question everything. Research for yourself. Seek out the truth. Don't believe what you are told. Believe nothing you hear, half of what you see. Nothing you hear, half of what you see.
Wander into myths. E.T. Messianism, as I argue at length in my books.
Messianism. What the fuck kind of word is that? Messianism. Messianism. Is that even a word? Gene like Belenin, a dialogue, messianism. Oh, so I misspelled it. Can't even read that. I want it in English, please. He's not even using an English word. Oh, shit. Messianismo religion. It's still not in English. is the belief in the advent of a Messiah who acts as the savior of a group of people. He's debunking his own shit, dude. Who acts as the savior of a group of people. Now, I'm going to tell you, Jesus did not act. The people chose him. He never said he was the Son of God. He never said he might have said he was the Son of Man, but he's never said he was the Son of God. And he says, "You do not know my Father." Well, obviously, you don't know his Father. You never met the man. Charlie Kirk's religious affiliation. Yeah. Solomon Malcho was a martyr who announced the Messiah, arousing the expectations of European Jews. Oh my God. So after reading this, I could come to the understanding that this dude is against the Jewish people too, or the Jewish religion. So this is, and I apologize, sir, I don't mean to blow you out like this, but this guy is the prime example of the complete brainwash, control, monotheism has been looking for. You, my friend, prove to them that it can be done. And they knew it could be done because there's many like you.
That is precisely the myth that Scripture warns men will turn towards in the last days after they wander from the truth. We've already been wandering from the truth as a society for many decades now. The great
I think you used the wrong word.
apostasy is well underway. And this myth that we're wandering into, the strong delusion specifically that we will be allowed to wander into by God's permissive will, that's the fruition.
Permissive will. So here we go. God gave you the ability to make your own choices, your own decisions. Listen, if there was a real God, one, I don't see where he would allow all this evil shit to happen. Okay, I don't see it. Monotheism words it that way because they can't stop you from thinking the way you want to think or doing what you want to do. But they can use it, which they do, to force you to believe that if you do these things, it's evil and against God's will, and you're going to go to hell. Unless you repent and give your life to God. Okay? More fear, more control, more forcing what you think, how to think, why to think it that way. Keep pushing the narrative, sir.
Of it all. That's why my 2023 book even warns that in the very subtitle.
Only man bears his image. Yeah. You turn this light on. See if I can find it. All right. So Mr. Wallace here, Paul Wallace, escaping from Eden. He didn't give you the whole thing, but it says Genesis 1:26, and he stops. Now it also says NIV, right? The New International Version. Let us make with a question mark. And he states, wait a minute, who is this us? This is the dawn of time, before any intelligent creature has been named. So who or what are the others that God is talking to? His angels? Angels didn't want no part of it. My understanding is that angels had become jealous because God created man and loved him more than the angels, or at least that's what they perceive. So who is this us? Here's the full context. Genesis 1:26. Let us make human beings look like us. Well, again, that's the NIV writing, right? They put it in plain English. Let us make human beings to look like us in the image and likeness of ourselves. The footnotes in my New Jerusalem Bible say image is a concrete term implying a physical resemblance, like that between Adam and his son. So these Elohim, it is plural, creative and physical, with a question mark. What's that about? Oh my lord. Sci-fi disguise against aliens. Biblical, Catholic, and scientific case against aliens. Well, this part right here, scientific case, science don't even know, because those in control of the technology are keeping it so hush hush, you'll never know if it's real. I can't help it, y'all. I can't help it.
The Biblical Catholic Scientific Case Against Aliens, UFO Deceptions, Sentient AI, and Other Sci-Fi Disguised Demons and Psyops, Heralding the Antichrist. Sci-Fi Disguised.
Heralding the Antichrist. Alex Jones broke into or snuck into Bohemian Grove, where politicians and movie stars were worshiping a deity called Baal. And he showed you their statue. And he even got footage showing their ritual. The government doesn't believe in UFOs either, because they believe Baal is the God. He believes that Jesus and Jesus's father, God, is the real God. Again, multiple God beliefs in this planet. I bet you've never looked up Indian or Hindu beliefs and their God system and their beings that came from the heavens to the earth, and the Vimanas and all the great stuff that they could do that technology wasn't available to human beings like you and me.
Disguised. That is the myth that all of these things come to us under the disguise of. You really cannot overestimate the significance of science fiction in providing the context for the Great Deception itself. And here's what I wrote in the First and Last Deception about that. Actually, real quick.
So he's going to show you all this stuff that he wrote about, right? And all he's doing is showing that he is a true believer in God and Christ, and everybody else that doesn't is going to hell. And that if you believe in aliens, you are bringing about the Antichrist. Oh, you got to listen to this one.
of more and more men and women in positions of power and influence openly professing their deep to heaven. Behold, I am with you always. Matthew 28:20. The viewers can be just like Elliot. They can keep the resolute fixation upon aliens ever in their minds and the flame of hope for ET contact alive in their hearts.
Where he is.
You think that's not what happened with the young viewers of ET who are now middle-aged and increasingly running the world? Let's take a look.
So now he's saying that ET brainwashed us into believing in aliens.
Look at what has happened. Those who were Elliot's age when ET was released are now middle-aged, and millions of them have since then only nurtured the same desires that this film implanted. They are our leaders in government, commerce, media, and yes, even the church. One theology professor at a Catholic seminary, in fact, dedicated his lengthy 2021 book promoting alien belief to Steven Spielberg. With each passing day, one learns of more and more men and women in positions of power and influence openly professing their deep longing for extraterrestrial contact, as well as their conviction that the time for this messianic contact is finally upon us. This phenomenon is not accidental. It is the fruition of a plan that has long been in place. The grooming process has worked exceedingly well.
The grooming process. He's debunking aliens. That's what he's doing. He's ignoring history. He's saying that it's all bullshit. Why? Because the mainstream told him that for so long. And religion has reiterated that there's only one God. And if you don't believe, you're going to hell. So he writes a book debunking aliens don't exist. Please, sir, go do some real homework with an open mind. Okay? Put your religion aside. Read the history openly. Open mind. I'm not saying change your religion. I'm saying look for truth. Research monotheism and how it came about. Understand that the Holy Bible was put together by man. The scriptures, quote unquote, were God. What's the term I'm looking for? See, my mind's fucked, y'all. I'm sorry. God. I just had it. I can't spit it out, man. My brain's just stopped. Oh, it's God doing it because he doesn't want you to talk about it. No, I have brain damage and my brain don't function properly. I already told y'all I was in a head-on car crash and survived it. And that causes damage to the brain. I've been taking vitamin B and vitamin B supplements to help that. And it has, but I still have, because there's damage there, I can't get everything out all the time. It was God influenced. You're going to say it's ordained. The Spirit came on them from God, sent the Holy Spirit, told them to write this. When you do your history, though, you'll find that the stories of Jesus that have been written in the New Testament 700 years later is when it was written down. Before that, it was passed down word of mouth. Once all the scriptures were written, Constantine's time, they got together and decided, a group of men got together, theologians, and decided, we're going to create a book that all men must follow. And we're going to call it the Holy Bible, and we're going to tell everybody it's divine. It was sent from God. Got to do your homework, man. Don't blindly follow what man tells you.
All right. E.T. was a major grooming. It's not a movie you should let your kids watch. Let's take a look at what this seminary professor that I just alluded to there.
So Poltergeist was a grooming too, to make everybody believe in ghosts. And monsters. So let me guess, Star Wars is grooming too, right? Darth Vader's real. The Sith are real. And it's a future foretold that that's what we're going to end up doing. No, I don't think so.
The book. Let's see what he is saying amidst his Spielberg-inspired crusade for alien belief. Here it is, a direct quote from his book promoting alien belief. He says, future contact with intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations could call into question certain cherished religious doctrines, result in a reorientation of our limited terrestrial belief systems. Because for 2,000 years, theology has had an anthropocentric myopia, which is at odds with what recent science indicates. Aliens would may wholly redefine many of our conceptions of God and creation. This Catholic.
Yeah, you got to read this book. Gods of the Bible. Him talking about that just brought me back to what Mauro Biglino says about the snake in the Garden of Eden. And it's not a snake. And it's not the fruit, knowledge of good and evil. It's our Creator teaching Eve about lovemaking and procreating. Because that's what man and woman was created for, to procreate and create worker beings. Do your homework. Zechariah Sitchin talks about it. Talks about the rebellion of the IgG not wanting to do the hard labor work anymore. And to avoid a war, Enki made a suggestion of creating a being that would be a worker being, and it would avoid the war, and they would continue to do the work that they were sent to Earth to do.
Like theology professor says. He says, evidence of a second Genesis could drastically call into question certain Christian foundational theological teaching.
Theologian. If anybody sees this and you want me to read Gods of the Bible, let me know. I will read it again. It'll be the second time I've read through it on stream. The first time was at rumble.com. Had a lot of people that were interested in it, but I was more into the racing than I was into the reading. So I kind of got away from the reading. So, but I had a lot of viewers on the reading videos. They've watched them after the fact. And I had hundreds of people that watched the videos or viewed the videos, because not everybody watches all of it. Believe me, I stream a long fucking time. A long time. A lot of people do an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 3. I have been known to go 8, 10, 12. I might have done a 14-hour once. But that's taking time away from my family. And that's not always a good thing. But if y'all are interested in that, hit me up in the chat. Hit me up in the comments. I'm not an excellent reader. I'm probably 7th grade level, maybe 8th grade, with a hint of some college level, but not a lot. I did go to college, but I failed because I suck at learning. Got an educational fucking learning disability. Can't do math, and I can't recall. So it's even gotten worse since the accident. So, but if you're interested, hit me up in the comments. Let me know you want to hear it.
Things regarding creation, the incarnation, and the redemption.
However, you have to subscribe. If you don't subscribe, you won't know when I'm reading. So if you want to hear it, you want me to do it, hit me up in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and your notifications are on. I give you a heads up right now, it'll be 1 day a week unless it rains and I don't have any work. And then it'll be a sporadic day in there. Once the season ends for my type of work, usually around December, January, up until April, I'll read every day if you want.
Establish that humans are neither the biological nor theological center of the universe, and present as it would new and unprecedented information of religious or theological significance, result in a profound reformulation or recontextualization of theology, on and on and on he goes.
All these big ass words.
Spielberg's charm worked quite well on that man, and it has worked quite well on millions of others, including those who are mixing Spielberg's deception with their Christian Catholic faith now. And that's exactly what Spielberg wants. He made that clear.
Now he's blaming Spielberg for the people that are awakening to the fact that it's all bullshit.
With his movie that came out today, you can keep your Christianity. That's fine. You just need to completely redefine it in terms of aliens. That's all. The aliens are.
Listen, redefine it. There's no redefining. The Catholics already redefined it for monotheism. So all that's happening is the truth is awakening people from the false monotheism theory.
The ones who really love you. And you.
It's like the Democrats waking up saying, oh, wait a minute, that's not the party I signed up for. I don't believe in their way of doing things anymore. I'm going to the Republicans now or becoming independents. Ain't no different here.
Need to love them. Just take a look at the promotional artwork for the E.T. film. And I hadn't even noticed this until one of my Twitter followers pointed it out.
Elliot on a bike up in the moon. And E.T. Yeah.
There's how they promote the E.T. film.
Oh my God. I ain't gonna say they didn't think about that. I'm not. I can't say that they didn't do that on purpose. I think it's awesome as fuck that it got pointed out. But yeah.
And there's the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which the feast day we celebrate today, the day Spielberg releases Disclosure Day. There's the Sacred Heart of Jesus on the left. Do they look at all similar to you? Of course they do. This is a blatant perversion in every way you can imagine. The Sacred Heart of Jesus and the supposed compassionate heart of this extraterrestrial, pointing to the heart, the finger raised, the moon as a halo even for the ET. Everything diabolically perverted. It is a perversion of the faith, and they're not even trying to be secret about it. They know they don't have to be. Because even most Catholics are so blinded by the world, the flesh, and the devil today that they can barely see the diabolical when it's staring them in the face. The less belief and understanding there is of the existence and the power of the devil, as Fulton Sheen said, the more power he exercises. And as St. Augustine said, the strong delusion, the great deception comes when men least believe in the devil, which is also precisely when he releases his greatest onslaught of deceiving signs and wonders yet. If anybody's wondering if that's a made-up, I admit, I was wondering myself, whoa, that's such a blatant perversion of the Sacred Heart image. That must be AI. You know, some anti-Spielberg guy like me must have made an AI.
Dude, wow, this guy's really good at what he's doing. I give him that. He's really good. He's done some work. He's done some research on his side of what he believes. He's totally ignored history. He's a history denier. That's what I'm going to say. He's a history denier. And he's probably been brought up in this Catholic religion his whole entire life since he was a little kid. He probably went to Catholic church school, Catholic college. I don't know his background. I haven't researched him. I don't have to. Been around this world 56 years. Seen a lot, heard a lot, know a lot, forgotten a lot. My biggest problem with this gentleman is he's ignoring history. 100% ignoring it by choice. If he's read it, he discounts it. Science, he believes science and religion are separate. And it's not true. Science and religion go hand in hand. I don't know if I want to continue this because I'm just repeating everything I just said or have already said. But he makes me laugh.
Image. So I looked that up myself on Amazon to see what the actual cover artwork is for the E.T. movie. It's that very image. It's that exact one.
It
so yeah,
is.
They're holding nothing back. They are.
Yeah. Science, NASA went to Hollywood and asked them how they figured out landing a spaceship on an asteroid. I forget the name of the movie, but it had what the fuck's his name? I can't remember his movies either. Fuck, dude, I'm telling you, my brain's getting bad. It's getting bad. And I've been doing neurologist and modern science as fuck. They don't want you to be living. They want you dead. If you ain't gonna conform, they want you dead. I just had his fucking name and I can't fucking spit it out. I can see all the movies that he did. And I can't fucking spit one of them out.
Surely unleashing this deception. Anyway, before today, Spielberg's biggest E.T. films were those two, Close Encounters and E.T. But he did keep it up in the 2000s. War of the Worlds in 2005 was also a Steven Spielberg.
War of the Worlds was not Steven Spielberg. He did the movie, but the actual story was done on radio. And people did not realize that it was a book being read and portrayed on radio. And they all freaked out thinking that the world was being invaded. And I bet you he didn't even look at when the U.S. military was shooting at something in the sky. I'm going to say in the 40s or 50s. I can't remember. Because they thought it was a UFO. And it was during the Cold War or World War One or two, I forget. He probably doesn't know nothing about that either. Why? Because history probably isn't being taught in school like that anymore. And if he went to a Catholic school, they're definitely not going to teach you that history. They're going to teach you the history of religion, the monotheism history. But they're not going to teach you how monotheism came about, because it's their great deception that they've been pushing forever.
Film. And you might not think that's too significant here because it's representing extraterrestrials as a threat. But oh no, it's still very significant.
Listen, he's going to get into talking about malevolent and benevolent beings, and that people are hoping that they're benevolent. Just like earthlings, you have good and you have bad. It isn't devil, it isn't God. It's good and bad. Bad people do bad things. Good people do good things. Some good people change to the bad. Some bad people change to the good. It's just the way it is in life, man, on this planet. What says it's different anywhere else? It's not. It's all universal. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Humans only do what they were taught. And our ancestors did what they were taught. And they were taught by their creator to be exactly how we are, good and bad. Read the books. Zechariah Sitchin talks about the battles between the Anunnaki, the so-called Sumerian gods, and how they battled amongst each other. Yeah. Ain't no different.
First, it still promotes the lie that aliens exist. That lie
Promotes the lie that aliens exist.
itself is going to lead you into the Great Deception, even if you believe that the aliens are harmful. It might not lead you
Harmful, non-harmful, just like humans.
into it as quickly as the notion of benevolent.
Wonder if he knows about our DNA strand and how a lot of it they call junk. Yeah. And some of the mummies that they dug up have the same junk we have.
Messianic extraterrestrials, but it'll still lead you to the same ultimate fate.
Messianic.
The hostile aliens and the benevolent aliens.
Messianic extraterrestrials. So he took a word from the Jewish understanding of the word and attached it to aliens.
Aliens are two deceptions that work in tandem sometimes, in fact. The hostile aliens one is more useful for government psyops, although they can use the messianic one, aliens as well. The messianic alien part is great for the Antichrist himself, but he can also make use of the nefarious extraterrestrial deception.
Now, I will agree with him. There is a red flag theory that they would use the UFOs that they reverse engineered to grab more power and control over the planet by setting their UFOs on humans on Earth and saying that we are being invaded. There is that red flag.
By there's plenty of ways you can do that. The point is, you need to reject the lie. It's not okay to believe in aliens and just think
It's not okay to believe that you're the only smart, intelligent being in the galaxy, in the universe, in our solar system that is closed-minded and arrogant.
they're a threat. That's almost as dangerous.
We are not the greatest thing ever created. The greatest thing ever created is the planets, the sun, the universe. We are just a fucking nuisance in the whole fucking scheme of it.
As the benevolent extraterrestrials threat. But anyway, that question aside, War of the Worlds still does indeed promote a diabolical, godless view of humanity. And to point out, to emphasize that, I'll just quickly quote what one Catholic author wrote about that 20 years ago when the film came out. I found this on the internet. This is from the Weight of Glory blog, author named Clayton Emmer, Catholic author named Clayton Emmer, and here it is. He points out,
War of the World. Oh, shit. I cannot recall seeing another film that's intent on lying to the audience about the nature of the human person. It was a relentless, disturbing vision that rarely, if ever, qualified its disdain for humanity. Dude, I have disdain for humanity. I don't need a fucking movie to show me how fucked up humans are. I already know how fucked up they are.
That this film is lying to the audience about the nature of the human person. It has a disdain for humanity, he rightly says. There is no God, according to the ethos of the film, except as someone to be cursed. There's no reverence for the human person made in God's image, a being capable of imaging the Trinitarian self-giving love of the Godhead. Everyone is clawing for their own survival. There are no stories that parallel actual accounts of heroic self-sacrifice in the face of catastrophe. There's no room for that in Spielberg's vision. And no one ever cries out to God except to curse his name. So the film adopts a satanic ethos, suggesting that humans are not capable of altruism or reverence. Equally disturbing is the proposed anthropology. Human beings are inconsequential to the narrative being presented. The aliens existed before humans did, and humanity has nothing to contribute to the defeat of the aliens. That task is left to supposedly higher.
Everyone is clawing for their own survival. There is no stories that parallel the actual accounts emerging from World War II, the Twin Towers, etc. This part right here, everyone's clawing for their own survival. That's what we're taught to do. That is exactly what we're taught to do. When I grew up in school, they taught you work hard to succeed. You want to exceed farther than everybody else, you work harder than them. Keep up with the Joneses. Yeah, man has been fighting each other ever since they were created. All right, they just have. They always have. Cain and Abel's the example. Okay, Cain killed Abel. Why? Because he felt that God dismissed his offerings while venerating and raising up Abel for his offerings. The Bible teaches you to fight for your own survival. Our economic system forces us to fight for our own survival. Come on, man. Come on. Now, all this is proven, and I'm going to stop here because this
life forms,
I
bacteria.
can't do it no more.
The movie lies.
I just can't do it no more. Here's what it boils down. You cannot ignore history of any kind. Everything, all information is relevant to something. It may not be used right away. You may never use it, but never discount information. And especially never ignore history. Because if you ignore it, you shall repeat it, which is what we are doing today. Everything that's written in the Bible that's going to happen has happened before. Okay? The end of times has happened before. And it's going to repeat. Why? Because man doesn't remember. Our history has been destroyed by book burnings and war. Remember, those that win the wars write the history. Those that fight and win write the history. It's what the Crusades were about. They'll tell you it's a humanitarian thing. Humanitarian when you destroy everything around you and grab everything that's worth value and hide information. The Catholics got a basement full of it. They won't let you down there to read it or look at it or touch it. Seriously, man. Seriously. I can't take the guy serious anymore. I can't do it. I tried. And I brought it to y'all. That's all there is to that. So if y'all are into what he was talking about, go watch him. If you're not, beware. There's more of him, more people like him out there. It's all about God going to heaven or going to hell. No, it ain't. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about control, controlling man, controlling what you think, controlling what you know, what you understand, how you live, and why you live that way. They keep you blinded by false truth and hope you never find the real truth. The problem is today, the last 20 years, internet has opened up everything to everybody. You can find anything you want, which is what I was getting to when we ended that video. It don't matter what you think you believe. You can look it up on the internet and you'll find what will help you, what helps your belief, reiterates your belief. And those that dissent against your belief, they can find all the information that will dissent against your belief and reiterate their belief. So what's the answer? I don't have it. But I will tell you this. You have to decide for yourself what you're going to believe or not believe. We're all going to find out the truth one day. Usually when you die, so I've been told, all will be revealed. And there's a lot out there about that too. What you're going to find when you die. People claim they died and went to heaven, came back with a warning from God. Some claim they came back and they were headed in the wrong direction and they were allowed to come back and they changed their life. I don't know if that's true or not. Can't verify it. Can't do it. So, what do I believe? I believe man has been controlling man for as long as man's been around. I do believe that aliens exist, and I believe they are so intelligent, they know they don't have to come and invade us, and they don't have to show themselves. You don't have to fight a war to take over a people. You just have to infiltrate the people and start implementing your ideologies through their government, through their education, through their medical. And you do all this good stuff for the people and they will follow you. Our governments do it all over the world or have done it all over the world. Communists do it all the time. That's how they take over the countries. That's how they get a hold of Cuba, right? Their leader went in, he created hospitals, created schools, and gave them a governance. And because of the education and because of the medicine, the people loved them. And then he turned against the people. And the country went to shit because communism don't work. Same thing as monotheism. It only works for so long. And in this case, the internet blew that shit out the water, made information readily available. And people are waking up. The government. Why do you think we're dealing what we're dealing with now in our government here in the United States? The people are waking up. The information 24 hours a day. The news cycle 24 hours a day. The hell they got to talk about for 24 hours? The same shit they just told you about in the AM morning news. Nothing's changed. They just reiterate what they already told you. Different personalities reiterating it with different words. Don't walk through this life blind, people, with your eyes closed. That's what I can tell you. My best thing, and I'm going to end it here, and we're going to get into either golf or racing or maybe the sailboat. We'll see. But I'm going to close with this on this topic. Eyes open, head on a swivel. I will be back. This is just to end that segment. So take you a 10-minute break. We'll be back here to do some racing or whatever, golf or something.